Hello and welcome to another round of ALR in the GT7 Championship. This is Season 7, Round 7 in Tier 1. The championship's already been won by Iggy, so I'm providing some post-race analysis whilst the live commentary moves on to tiers further down, which have a title race still. We have 13 drivers today, and I will go through the qualifying results in reverse order. So, starting outside of the points in 13th, so these drivers will be a bit disappointed, are Riaba, Ryan in his Mustang, and Tapos Games. And then starting in 10th is Mushalot. 9th place is Owen in the Lexus. 8th place is Elite Spectre, and I'll have to remember that's his name because it's not showing on the screen. 7th place is Laz, who has won a race this season. Current second place in the championship BR4 starts in P6. Simon in the other Mustang starts 5th. Mackie's Gherkin, who is P3 in the championship, starts in P4. BX Royal in the Ferrari starts 3rd. Iggy, the champion, couldn't get pole position today. I've been told that he is racing from not from his home, so I don't know if that'll impact his performance, but he still managed to get a front row, and starting on pole is Keplero. So this is the sprint race. It should be 8 laps long. It's a 15-minute sprint, and the winner will start at the back of the grid for the feature race. So let's get started. As soon as I press play, I think the lights are going to go out. So yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's lights out and away we go. Keplero gets a great start and Iggy gets a terrible one. He's already been overtaken by BX Royal. As Mackie's looks to put a little bit of pressure on, but he's not really alongside enough. Looks like Simon's kept P5 there pretty well. Mackie's is going around the inside of turn 1. And it looks like he gets the move done, and Simon in that Mustang with a very powerful engine, it just sweeps past Iggy, but he's getting a bit blocked off there by Mackie's, as looks like Kep has quite an easy lead over BX, as it's very, very tight going into this deep braking zone here. The inside line is definitely the better line you want to take, because there's 3 corners in a row that are right-handers, which is why Iggy's managed to get back up to 3rd, ahead of Mackie's and Simon. Behind them, BR4's kept P6 and Lars is P7, and Mushalot has moved up 2 places to 8th. Let's have a look. So, there's been a bit... Yeah, let's stick with the battle for P3 at the moment, because I could see a lot of drivers hitting the wall. It looks like Mackie's has lost a bit of momentum, as there's 3 wide between BR4 and Mushalot, who's moved up into P7 ahead of Lars now. And BR4 in that Lexus is... kind of a bit of a stopgap for everyone else, because he doesn't have the same kind of top speed. As we move into the braking zone at the hairpin, Lars looks like he's going on a move on the inside of Mushalot, and he gets the move done. Meanwhile, a little bit further down, Lars is now under pressure. Well, actually, he's trying to challenge Mushalot again, and he's going to have the inside line for the first corner at the beginning of Sector 3. But you can hold it around the outside as well there. And he does avoid the wall. Everyone looks like they've gotten through pretty nicely, as Owen, apart from Owen, who's kind of on his own at the back there. So we're going to start lap 2, and Keplero does have a very slim advantage over BX Royal. Both of them have won a single race so far this season, and it looks like it's going to be between them two. Iggy, there's actually a bit of a train forming behind him, which is a bit of a surprise. Well, actually, the entire grid is in an Iggy train, so let's stick with that, because it doesn't look like BX is challenging Kep on the run up to turn, I want to say turn 2, but it's the second braking zone anyway. So it doesn't look like anyone's close enough to pull off an overtake here, apart from a little bit further back. Mushalot is still ahead of Lars, and it looks like Tapos has managed to get past Riaba there, and Ryan is in the hunt as well. He's just got ahead of Elite Spectre, who's having a pretty horrendous start to the race outside of the points. But he did get a better exit of that corner, but Ryan's going to have the inside here, so should be able to keep hold of it as long as he doesn't brake too much. No, he just tucks up behind Elite Spectre and will look to challenge going through the tunnel. But Elite Spectre is blocking him. Let's see what's going on a little bit further up. Anyone challenging? Mouchelot and Lars are having another battle. It looks like Lars is going to attempt the overtake, but he's just not alongside enough in his Jaguar. Actually, he does get the move done. Mouchelot must have lost a little bit of traction on the exit there. And Tapos has managed to close in a lot because of that. What's going on a bit further up? There is still a queue of cars further up. It looks like BR4 managed to get past Simon at some point as well, which is very impressive considering the massive disadvantage that he's got with his top speed compared to Simon. Current fastest lap does go to Lars as well after getting past Mouchelot. So managing to get a 54.8 despite all the traffic is very impressive. Let's see. BX is really close to Kep now, so we're going to join this battle as we go round the 3 right-handers. You only have to brake once, and then it's all about throttle control and making sure that you don't spin on the exit, especially of that last corner, the left-hander there. BX is really breathing down Keplero's neck here. I'd imagine he's going to be able to attempt an overtake before the braking zone here. It's quite difficult though through the tunnel because of the way that the racing line naturally progresses. You kind of get stuck behind the car until you leave the tunnel on this fast right-hander that's just coming up right here, and then the track opens out a little bit more just as BX tries to jump down the inside. He will have the inside for the braking zone if he's a little bit braver on the brakes. They do touch maybe 3 times, but Keplero keeps the lead, and that does help Iggy close the gap a little bit as Mackey's is really breathing down his neck as well. Just biding his time with BR4 in 5th, and Lars has managed to get past Simon as well, so Simon's just going backwards in this race. But we'll rejoin the battle for the front because it is very close. BX is still harrying Kep all the way to the start-finish line. All drivers will be racing on softs for this race because the degradation isn't too bad around this track because most of it's at full throttle. Now is he going to get a run? It seems like Kep's car has a little bit better top speed because... Oh, but he's going to... Yeah, he's going to get it done here, surely. No, he backs out of it. Kep was a little bit braver on the brakes. BX will just miss receiving a penalty for that. It was just on the... it was just not over the line. And Mackey's is... Oh, Mackey's and BR4 is now in 3rd, as Iggy's lost 2 places and BR4's gained 2 places. As Mackey's hits the wall there, which will really lose his momentum going down through the tunnel, and Iggy will probably be able to get an overtake done before the next braking zone. Let's just see what's happening up front. Yeah, BX isn't going to challenge. It's all about Iggy, Mackey's and BR4 right now. BR4's top speed's really struggling, which means that Mackey's is going to get the overtaking move done on him. And Iggy as well, as BR4 doesn't try to defend the inside, which is a bit of a mistake, as he loses 2 spots in 1, but he does manages to hold it around the outside to get past Iggy, and Mackey's manages to get away ahead of both of them, but BR4 is, well, there's about 6 cars there, all within about a second of each other. As Iggy is getting challenged from Lars now. Is he going to keep the spot? It's really difficult to get overtaking done in the S's, and it's really easy to lose a lot of time in the S's as well. So that's why Lars is going to get challenged by Simon. As we have BR4 trying to get the move done on Mackey's, but he just doesn't have enough speed there in the run up to turn 1. But he will, if he gets better exit in turn 1, have a good run down the hill through this little tunnel up to the next braking zone. But Mackey's does have superior straight line speed, so no matter what BR4 is trying to do, it's not going to work. As you can see, Simon and Lars having a little battle behind Iggy as well. And Mackey's manages to keep it, but BR4's done a little dive around the second right-hander. He's got his elbows out there, a little bit of argy-bargy, and he retakes third place. Although I think it's only going to be temporary because he's, like I said, he's not got the straight line speed as we go through the tunnel for the 5th time out of 8 on this lap, and Iggy's just breathing down their necks as well. Let's see what's happening up front. Kep still maintaining this lead over BX, who just doesn't seem to have the speed, even with the slipstream, to mount a proper challenge into any of the braking zones to take the lead. So it kind of looks like Kep might have this zone up as long as he avoids any mistakes. But BR4, Mackey's, Mackey's braked very early for that corner, which just gifted it to Iggy, to be honest. And now he's getting challenged with Mushalot, who's managed to move his way up to P6 around the outside, and he stays in P6. Tapos Games and Simon's now down to 8th as he keeps falling back and back and back as the race goes on. As they're all driving so close together through the S's. I feel like it's only going to end badly for one of them. But no, it seems like everyone's managed to avoid the wall. As Lars is going to get another overtake on Simon done. And Elite Spectre is in 10th. Riab, 11, and Owen and Ryan are really struggling. But we'll rejoin the battle for first because BX is very close to Kep. Probably a little bit closer than he was last time, compared to last time that we joined them. But again, he just can't get the move. Well, he just can't get close enough, basically. They've both got very similar tyre wear as well. BX is very, very slightly better. So maybe on lap 8 he'll be able to tap into that in a braking zone, but we'll see. BR4 is quite comfortably in third now. He's got a bit of a gap to Iggy. And Mackey's has dropped off the back of him, and it now looks like he's going to start getting challenged from Mushalot in his Mercedes AMG. Oh, he backs out of it in that corner. That is a good overtaking spot though if you get a good exit from the triple right and left-hander that was previous. So we've got Moosh. They are making a little bit of contact. It is quite difficult to get a move done in the tunnel because of the way that the racing line naturally flows. You can kind of collect people and then lose multiple seconds if you get it wrong. As we've got 4 within about half a second of each other as we go into the braking zone. Mackey's is still in the lead at the moment, and he's got the inside line, so he keeps it over Moosh, who actually loses to both Lars and Tapos. But he does get a good exit, so is he going to be able to overtake all 3 of them? He's really getting his elbows out here. No, he backs out of it a little bit, and he's back into 8th again. And Tapos is now in 5th after all that. He's managed to overtake, I think, all 3 of them compared to when we were last in the tunnel. So, bad news for Mackey's, who was challenging for a podium. Now he's all the way back in 6th, and he hit the wall again, which means that Mushalot and Lars are probably going to try and get an overtake done into turn 1 if their engine allows them to. No, they all just go back into single file. And I have missed an overtake for the lead, so let's just rewind that. When did that happen? So, going into the tunnel, BX does get a much better run there. Overtakes Kep quite early on in the tunnel. And then Kep tries to come back on. Ooh, he kind of clatters the inside of the wall and then loses all of his momentum, which allows BX Royal to, well, not really have to defend going into the hairpin, which is really helpful. And now he's going to, yeah, just keep it through the S's as everyone goes a little bit crazy behind, which was the battle that we were just watching, which is a nice little benefit of doing some post-race commentary. You can do a little bit of rewinding and catch all of the action, which is good. So, if BX can hold on to this for 2 more laps, then he will get his 2nd win of the season. He's already won the Spec Series Championship. He won all but 2 of those races so far. So it's good to see, especially in a car like the Ferrari, which is not very quick, to be honest, that he can really challenge at the front of Tier 1. And it kind of bodes well for next season, I think, if he chooses a good car, because he hasn't been able to choose his own car because he's joined halfway through this season, that he could really challenge for the championship with Iggy. He's probably got the speed for it, to be honest. As they both take that, I wish I knew the name for that corner. There's probably not even a name because it's a made-up track, but they both took it very well, and Kep is, oh, I was going to say he's kept up really well, but he's just clattered the wall there, which is going to lose him some momentum. He's got 100, yeah, he's about 10 miles an hour slower at the moment. So he'll catch up a little bit with Slipstream, but let's see what's happening. BR4 is kind of all on his own in P3, with Iggy slowly chasing him down. Mackey's and Lars now has managed to work his way back up to 6th, and he's going to challenge Mackey's for P5. Not sure what happened with Tapos, who managed to get his way back up, but he's probably at the back of that pack, is one of the two little Japanese cars you can see in the white. Mackey's and Lars are kind of all over the place. Mackey's defends the inside, and he's going to keep that spot. Lars keeps 7th. Simon actually moves up to 7th, and Lars keeps 6th, as Mouchalot, who always seems to be getting a good exit from the hairpin, manages to overtake Simon quite comfortably there. As Mackey's and Lars, well, he thought about doing a move at the beginning of the S's, but thought better of it. Really, really close. Mackey seems to have a much more powerful engine than Lars at this point of the race. And Mackey's has much better tyres, that's probably the reason why. As we've got the two, I'm not sure what car this is, but they are the Toyotas, very close together. Supras, I'm guessing, the two Supras. Quite good cars, if that is what they are driving. But anyway, we are on to the last lap of the race. Lars is protecting P5 from Mackey's, and it looks like he's going to protect the inside line there, as Mouchalot is having to go around the outside, and he's, is he going to hold on to it? He is, but that's really opening the door for Elite Spectre and Tapos, who are both looking like they're going to overtake Simon here. Three wide through the tunnel. The Mustang seems to have shaken them both off though. Oh, Lars has a 2-second penalty. Does that mean is that why Mackey's is just kind of tucked behind him? So Lars is probably going to lose out to all of these people, because the penalty line is before the start-finish line. He will lose more than 2 seconds for sure, but let's join BX Royal as he rounds the final bend. Both of them clatter the wall as their tyres are extremely dead. BX Royal crossed the line to take his second win of the season in the sprint race, as Kepler takes second. BR4 just manages to hold off Iggy at the line. Lars is set. There is the penalty line, so Mackey's is going to get P5, Mouchalot P6, Simon P7, Lars ended up P8, Tapos 9th, Elite Spectre 10th. Out of the points, Owen, Riaba and RDO will get pole position for the sprint race. Fastest lap belongs to BR4, which is really impressive in the Lexus, but he did have clear air for the entire race apart from at the end when he was being challenged by Iggy there, so he managed to get a 54.5. Incredibly fast time for a fastest lap. So that was an exciting race. Iggy not on the podium for, I think, the first time this season. So he'll be quite disappointed with that, but he is the champion. Usually what happens after you win a championship, you take your eyes off the ball a little bit. So very exciting race, to be honest. Lots of action the whole way through, just as what you'd expect with Tokyo. And join me in a moment for the sprint race.